My name is Carson. Welcome to Thrifty Garage, a channel where we do everyday repairs, how-tos, and reviews. And in today's video, we'll be doing a review on these Hunter products. Some of these products are brand new, and others have been in their lineup for a while now. But today's video, we'll be doing a broad overview on these products. I'll give you a better idea of what they do and what they have to offer, if they might fit your needs. And then in the future, we'll do a more in-depth review on specific products. Welcome back to another white tabletop review. So we'll start on my right hand side here. Here we've got these MP rotator nozzles. These have a lower precipitation rate, so they put down less inches of water over a period of time. And these are the type of sprays that kind of have a fanning motion, a little single stream that kind of fans across. And where these kind of come in good application is if you have to combine a pop-up spray head zone with a rotor zone. Rotors put down a lot less inches per minute than a pop-up spray head does, and these two are closer, and it also just helps allow the water to percolate down and settle into the ground. So MP rotator nozzles, here we've got a bunch of different ones. We've got these 90 degree to 210 degree with a 6 to 12 foot radius. We've got the same degrees with a 8 to 16 radius, 12 to 22 radius, and then we've also got a 360 with a 6 to 12 radius. So lots of different models and variants. Unlike the variable adjustable nozzles, the van nozzles, they're a little bit more difficult to program and set up, and they're a little bit more, you have to get a specific nozzle. But you just know what you're getting, and they work pretty good. But we'll do a future video on that. So here we've got the RainClick WR-CLIK. This is their wireless rain sensor. I'm not sure if this is a new product or not, but the way this works is you put a receiver near the controller and wire it to the controller, and the controller can communicate with the rain sensor on the roof and see how much rainfall there is, and if there's significant rainfall, then it will turn off the sprinklers for a period of time until that dries out. So if you haven't ever used a rain sensor, that's a good way to go. Getting wires to the controller is half the battle. And this is the Hunter X2 Wi-Fi compatible irrigation controller. Really excited to see this offering. Had a lot of complaints on my previous Hunter Pro HC video about how they control the programmer. Whenever I install a new Pro HC, I always set up Wi-Fi first. It's way easier to program on the phone app than it is on the controller, and that was a lot of the complaints. The Pro HC is not really designed to be manually controlled from the controller. And this Hunter X2 is a residential model. It's got up to 14 stations, and it has the ability to turn the knobs and dials like the old style controllers. So you have that user functionality, and then they've also built in Wi-Fi capabilities. It does not come with Wi-Fi. You have to add the Wi-Fi module. So that is something you should be mindful. So really excited to kind of do a more in-depth review on this Hunter X2 unboxing. Lots of cool features that they've kind of built in, and really just kind of from the ground up. Built on that new HydroWise software they have, and the ability to do Wi-Fi and really combine it with their old technology for a good package. Here we've got the Hunter Node Bluetooth. Also really excited about this one. I know I'm a nerd. Half the people out there probably don't even know what this is. If you don't know what the Hunter Node is a battery operated controller that goes in the valve box. Hunter Node can go from like one to 6 stations, and this Node Bluetooth timer, I think this can do up to 4 stations, and it can also have, I believe, 2 sensor inputs. So you could actually connect a wireless, or not a wireless, but you could do a rain sensor connected to this, and you might even be able to do a flow sensor hooked up to this. So really cool options with this. Again, this is kind of the same thing back to the difference between technology and manual. This does have push buttons on it, but I think this is mainly programmed from your phone. That's an assumption right now, but looking at the buttons they've got on here, just 3 buttons. You may or may not be able to program this from the unit. You might have to actually program it from your Bluetooth. So I've actually got this Hunter Bluetooth tap timer I've done a previous video on, and really like this unit. Really good app on this, and so this Hunter Bluetooth Node uses the same app. So with the Node, getting off topic here, with the Node gives you a lot of options. When you put in a new sprinkler system, if you have a valve on a commercial job, if you have an island with a valve on it and it's way far away, it's got water to it but no wires, it's really hard to dig through asphalt. If you're at a residential unit and you have to go across the driveway, sometimes it doesn't make sense to run wires to a location. And even on some new residential developments where they only have like one zone up front, one zone in the back, really small yards, front or back, and these units work great because then you don't have to mount a controller on the wall, you don't have to have an outlet, you don't have to have that power source, or you don't have to run wires to it. You just put one main line in, one backflow, one valve box, 1 or 2 valves, and you can hook up a node. And again, these go up to like 4 and 6 zones, so they're getting pretty capable as far as the number of zones they can run. A couple of disadvantages to these: they are battery operated, so you tend to have to change the batteries once a year. They are pretty low consumption on the batteries, but really cool option using the Bluetooth. I'm really excited to dig into this one and review it more. And I was really shocked to see that it actually came with sensor inputs as well. So look forward to a future video on that. And then on my left hand side here, we've got some rotor heads. So here we've got the Hunter PGP. This is kind of a low end entry model, 4-inch pop-up head. Then we've got the PGP Ultra, which is a step up above that and has some extra features. And then we also bump up to the Hunter i20. This is where I started the industry 10, 12 years ago when I started landscaping. Well, it's been probably 13, 14 years now. We always installed Hunter controllers and Hunter i20s worked for a high-end residential installer, and we did $100,000 landscapes all the time. So one thing I love about this Hunter i20 is in the center of the head they've got flow stop technology. So whenever we do a sod job, we would turn off all of the heads, turn on the sprinklers, and then as we laid sod across the yard, we would open up individual heads and begin watering the sod. And with new sod, if you don't know, the sooner you can get water on it, the better. And I'm really just acquainted with these Hunter i20, these heads, and they're just a nice high-end grade head. This is a 6-inch head. Again, we'll get into more comparison on these in the future, but lots of different options. It's a basic rotor head in the sense of we've got nozzles. We put a nozzle in. If you don't know, most of these rotor heads do not come with nozzles in them. If you just stick them in the ground, they are not going to spray right or have a good pattern. So you need to put in the nozzles, and you need to put in the correct size. So they have different orifices for different radius, depending on if you're running a quarter circle, if you're running 360 degrees, you're going to have to change out the size of the nozzle in order to accommodate that. We've also got low angle and high angle nozzles. But you install the head, you put the nozzle in, you adjust the arc, how far out it flows for head-to-head coverage, and then make sure it's adjusted left to right correctly. So a couple different options from Hunter with the rotor heads, and really great products. Like I said, I've been using them for years. Hunter and Rainbird are probably the two biggest companies that I've ever used. There are other brands in the industry, and there's other brands that are more in the commercial realm. And honestly, Hunter's probably one of those things that are more contractor-oriented products. There's not a lot of residential consumers. You don't go to Home Depot and pick up Hunter. Hunter, I would say, is more of a contractor-grade component, more of a commercial-grade application. Just with my experience and where their offerings are, what they offer, and what they have, has been my experience. So check out these Hunter products. Like I said, I'll do some more future videos in the future, do a more in-depth dive on these. But there's a quick overview. And thanks for watching Thrifty Garage. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Almost forgot. Take over the show. Bluetooth tap timer. This is their, oh, the flies are gonna drive me crazy.